top to Caitlin Pickett. The ball might be a little bit too far for her. Mason Jones does well to cover her box. And the goal kick will come for Alamein FC. Of course, we must also focus on Rihanna Omaya, who made the move from Bullying Lions to South Melbourne. In my humble opinion, one of the best box-to-box midfielders in the NPLW. Can shoot from range, and, well, she is one of the best products in the division. Seems that Mason Jones is struggling to get a glove on, or has she found success? I believe so. Definitely a hold up and play here. It's not something you often get in NPLW Victoria. Nonetheless, play will continue. And Caitlin Pickett pressuring here extremely quick. She is Caitlin Pickett. Bedwin looked to intercept, and Alamein will come away with it on the ball, on the wing. Well, she looked for the option there of, at that point, it was Guiamara, and Barbieri did well to staunchly kick the ball out. Obviously, over 70 caps for the Matildas. There's a Barbieri. Started her career as a youngster at South Melbourne, actually. And still into her 40s. She's performing brilliantly well. Here comes Lucy Johnson, latches onto it, shot taken over the bar. South Melbourne's first real opportunity, and you will not expect that to be their last. A powerful, powerful striker of the ball, Lucy Johnson is. Scores at will. Heffernan twisting and turning, ends up clearing it away, and touch too heavy from Alamein in that instance. Chinema opts to go to a second number in Amy Medwin. Chinema. But let's not discount the quality that Alamein do have. Obviously, Emma Ronalds, the captain, loves to make the forward runs into the box. She utilises her physicality to the full extent. Really shows her presence as a captain. Has been at the club for many years now and possesses immense quality moving forward. Caitlin Story as well. Scored a wonderful goal against Box Hill last week. Into the bottom right corner. And South Melbourne, here they come. Lucy Johnson unable to get onto that one. But South Melbourne still regain possession. One touch football finds Rihanna Amaya. Lucy Johnson. Well, that's something you don't really see in NPLW circles. The tiki-taka football instituted here by Samuel Young. A real sign of quality that South do have. A distinguished academy that they have as well. Johnson. Outlet ball here. And there is Bethany Mason-Jones. Unfortunately, Melina Ayres wasn't able to get onto it. And Mason-Jones' positioning so far has been nothing short of sublime. Heffernan. Goes down low and wide. What a stunning through ball that is. However, it might be too much on it, and it ends up going out for a throw-in. Unfortunately, it was Guiamara who wasn't able to get her feet onto it. And Amy Medwin will take the throw. Alamein players surrounding her like a pack of wolves. Johnson. Call for handball there for Piers Barlow, and South end up coming away. That left side opened up, a gaping hole that was. But Alamein do well to cope with it. And nonetheless, they will lose possession. was Melissa Barbieri shouting to Caitlin Pickett if she's okay. She seems to have stumbled just a little bit, limping somewhat, but she seems to be back on her feet. Hopefully that does not disrupt her momentum. And South earned the corner, courtesy of Jenna Lawson's midfield efforts. Cross comes in, and it goes in. It's headed in. I believe that might be an own goal. Or perhaps the South player got onto it, and South opened the scoring here at Knox. Inevitable as always. And South lead. A wonderful set-piece opportunity. Melina Ayres on the score sheet, extending her lead at the Golden Boot race. At the top, at the helm. Is taking her claim as a perennial W League striking candidate. And South Melbourne might want to double the league quickly. Look at Lucy Johnson's awareness tactically to predict the passes of the Alamein defense. And Naomi Chinema with the outlet pass finds Lucy Johnson over the top to Pickett. She might look for the second time ball. Drifts outside, and Medwin ends up getting onto it. Cross comes in, and it's tumbling around the 18-yard box, and Alamein might have something in the attacking half for themselves. They haven't really had much going forward for them. And South Melbourne regained possession. This time, touch a little bit heavy for Melina Ayres, and, well, there was Jenna Lawson looking to make a foray into the 18-yard area, and the assistant referee denies her that opportunity. Pickett with the header. Renals with the outlet. As far as for Guiamara. Goes down the wing to Heaverton. It's got options in the middle. Alamein, could they get the goal against the run of play here? Latched onto, and, well, Lucy Johnson tracking back her defensive efforts to be rounded with applause you'd expect from Samuel Young. Melina Ayres. And it's cleared away from Alamein. Both sides possessing an awful lot of pace moving forward. South Melbourne clearly technically superior in this moment. Oh, Johnson over the top. She's brought down, and the referee waves it away. No penalty given. An intriguing decision to make. It seemed like the Alamein defender definitely made contact there. However, the right decision might be made as Alamein look to attack within the open space that they currently do have. Heaverton tracking back. She might look for that looping through ball on the right-hand side. Currently, Holly Murray doing well defensively to withstand the pressure caused by Melina Ayres and Lucy Johnson, that striking partnership that has scored so many goals this season. And Stamatopoulos, calm as she can be on the ball, But Omaya wins possession. Here comes Lawson. On that far side, looks to whip it in central. It's cleared away. And South will get another throw. So, within the first opening stanza, it's been all South Melbourne so far. Alamein getting a couple breakaways, but not distinctly making an impact. And here come Alamein. Extremely quick on the ball. That was Jenna McCormick looking to get onto that last pass, and South Melbourne still win possession, despite Alamein regaining some solidity moving forward. Looking more comfortable. McCormick. Midwin. Amaya. Over the top ball to Caitlin Pickett on her left-hand side, and the ball just dropped a little bit low, but Caitlin Pickett looks at the second effort, and beautiful shielding of the ball there from Alamein, and the pressure has been taking off just ever so slightly. Medwin goes back to Chinema. Chinema again. Back to McCormick. Medvin. Alamein so rigid in defense, but South Melbourne pick up the gaps. How good have they been so far? A 5-back they're operating on Alamein at the moment, but is there any way for Alamein to break away? Because it's all South Melbourne at the moment. Here comes Rihanna Amaya, looking central, and Alamein clear. McCormick with a nice first-time touch. Finds Amaya once again, and South Melbourne will try again. Ball placed beautifully for Caitlin Pickett. She's 1-on-1 here with the goalkeeper, and Mason Jones did well to get her hands to it. She's been quite good so far. Positive touch from Alamein, and it's ended up being won by Emma Ronalds. Guiamara let him go in for it, and Guiamara pleading for the free kick, and the referee ends up acquiescing to her demands. South players questioning that call. Maybe Stamatopoulos to pass it inward. High ball into the box, and McCormick heads away. The attacking opportunity might not yet be lost, as Alamein do have a throw-in opportunity on the far side. And has been called for offside. I'm wondering how that actually is called for offside. Oh, my apologies. I thought it was an offside call, but it was actually a foul throw. Obviously, if the player in question threw it in and the Alamein attacker lashed onto that ball, it wouldn't be considered offside. No offside and throw-ins, but nonetheless, play will continue. Football Victoria have the best referees in the country, and they would not miss something like that, wouldn't they? Medwin. Couple of step overs, finds Lucy Johnson, who drifts inside and plays a beautiful through ball to Caitlin Pickett. She's here. She rolls it central. Here comes Melina Ez looking for the seeming backheel goal. She opted for it. She was in the motions, and The ball evades her. Melina Ayres. What trickery does she possess? Adding backheel goals to her arsenal. Potentially, yet not in this current moment. And here comes Amaya. Draws back. Here's Sakalis and South threatening on the edge of the 18-yard area. And Alamein have a bit of space to operate in now. However, they aren't really keen to go quickly. There's a bunch of Alamein defenders looking to move up the pitch on that left-hand side, the broadcast side, and, well, if only they provided her more opportunities, they might have had something here. But nonetheless, South Melbourne will capitalise. Melina Ayres falls on her backside. Guiamara, touch too heavy once again from Guiamara. She's been positive. She made an off the bench appearance last week. And here comes Pickett. Johnson ends up picking up the ball in the passing lane. Amaya goes back to McCormick. McCormick back to Amaya. And beautiful football here from South Melbourne. Looking for Johnson in the middle. Tumble in the area. And, well, it's parried down. Melina Ayres with the shot again. And that is South Melbourne's second. A defensive calamity from Bethany Mason-Jones, who could have caught the ball, but she opted to punch it away. And Melina Ayres says, thank you very much. And South Melbourne have doubled their lead quite effectively within the first half. South Melbourne. Melina Ayres grabbing another goal. Racing away with a golden boot. She's been so effective this season. Well, not quite sure what occurred there. The ball was kicked forward. Perhaps because the ball was a little bit flat. We'll find some more information for you in the halftime break. And directedness from Alamein. South Melbourne aren't letting up yet. Medwin more central now. She's looked extremely calm and composed moving the ball forward. And Alamein will turn here. Goes back to Holly Murray. The youth player for Alamein. Looks to win the ball again. And she's right out of position. Alamein now only have 3 as opposed to 4 defenders. Lawson, Pickett, a strong position, and Caitlin Pickett, I think for the second or third time this afternoon, has been called for offside. Holly Murray. Murray again. And Medwin opts to go to Melissa Barbieri. Barbieri so vocal. You can hear from the commentary box. And good defensive interplay there from Alamein. Specifically Guiamara, who's faced an awful lot on her right-hand side. Perhaps it doesn't possess the physicality that South do have, but she's performed amicably, to say the least. McCormick, back to Chinema. Medwin. To McCormick. Back to Chinema. Pickett looks for Medwin. She gets an attacking opportunity of herself, and she might earn the corner here. Yes, she does. South Melbourne, they've already got one goal from a set piece. They might look for the second. And it will be the aforementioned Medwin on that set piece. Memwood crosses. Shot was taken. And a goal kick was won. Melina Ayres on the effort there. And look at Melissa Barbieri ushering her defenders forward. Certainly a jack of all trades, Melissa Barbieri. And Alamein earned the throw in quite a dangerous and threatening area, and the throw looked to be centered towards Emma Ronalds. Evades her, and Barbieri will have the goal kick. And here comes Naomi Chinema. Medvin. Back to Chinema. Chinema with a long ball down that far side to find Amaya. And South Melbourne will come away with it here on the counter-attack. Courtesy of Jenna Lawson. Turns. Sakalis. Back to Lawson. Rolled central for Ayres, and Lawson ends up chesting it down. McCormick in a one-on-one situation, and it gets past the defender. Rolls to the 18-yard box. Ayres on the volley, and there is Bethany Mason-Jones with the save. Tricky playing out of the back, aren't they, Alamein? And deflected off McCormick, and Amaya tracks back and defends well. As I mentioned before, box-to-box midfielder, and she is definitely delivering the goods on that promise. Well, it wasn't really a promise, it was more of a statement. Chinema rolls and goes forward to Caitlin Pickett. In a one-on-one here with Haffenden. Turns. And we look to have Alamein have one possession, and Alamein end up winning possession. Or will South capitalise? And here comes Chinema. Lucy Johnson. She might go all the way here, Lucy Johnson. Turns on the right-hand side, look for Melina Ayres, and McCormick, one touch, goes back to Amaya. That interplay has really catalysed this fixture so far. The chemistry between the two has been nothing short of phenomenal. Pickett once again on that left-hand side, looks to drive in forward. She's got Heffernan on her right-hand side, and she ends up earning the corner. Caitlin Pickett. South with their second corner taking opportunity on that broadcast side, and it'll be Amy Medwin with the corner kick. Will Melina Ayres get her second from a set piece and the first half hat trick? Amaya rolled central. Here comes McCormick on the header. Just evaded her. The ball just moving past her header wasn't exactly timed perfectly for the current Matilda, formerly playing in Spain for Real Betis. That was quite a move for her, Jenna McCormick. Also formerly of Melbourne Victory as well. Omaya. Here comes Johnson. Goes back to Pickett. Well, seemingly did. Here comes Midfield. Amaya spots out the pass to Jenna Lawson. Johnson on the edge of the 18-yard box, and Alamein clear as far as for Niles. Rolls, turns around, Chinema beats her down, and Chinema ends up collecting Ember Ronals. Looked to have been a very strong challenge from there from Naomi Chinema. Alamein will search for a goal. So far they have been effective in counter-attacking situations, just haven't really made a foray into the 18-yard box during play. Obviously in set pieces they have. And South Melbourne will decide to counter. And here comes Melina Ayres, and well, there is Bethany Mason-Jones who gets out effectively. Alamein dealt with plenty of one-on-ones here, and they deal with the ball with aplomb here. And Pickett wins the ball on that broadcast side in a tussle here. Stamatopoulos. Heaven goes back to her keeper and Bethany Mason-Jones, and play will recommence. And too far that time for Jamila Hull. Haffenden. Pressure by Medwin, and South end up winning it. But Alamein clear. They were on the edge of another calamity within the 18-yard box. And here comes Alamein. Guiamara with a couple of keepy huppies, and Pickett ends up latching onto it. And here come Alamein on the counter here through Emma Ronals in the center of the 18-yard box. They twisted turn Alamein and goes for Guiamara, touch inside, and South clear away. Ronals creating as much as she can, rolls at central, and Alamein earn the corner in a vital position as the home crowd applauds. They have not let up Alamein despite the pressure applied by South Melbourne. Here come Alamein. Can they earn their first of the afternoon against the NPLW powerhouses? Cross comes in. Barbieri clears away over the bar, and well, Alamein get a second try, the cherry. Can Alamein do it somehow, some way, and brush it past Melissa Barbieri's goal? Impenetrable at times. Oh, well, seems to be a tad of commotion in the penalty area. Oh, the goal's actually off its line. Bit of handiwork from the referee. The ball evades everyone, and South Melbourne get the goal kick. About 36 minutes into this contest here at Knox Regional Football Complex, Jinima. And airs over the top. Mason Jones comes out of a box. Now, will South look for the chip? No, they won't. The corner. Sorry, a throw-in is one. Alamein counter. Surely they will here, and they scuff that. And Omaya wins the ball. Pickett on the left. Caitlin Pickett on the left-hand side. Drives in the 18-yard box. Rolls it central. And Bethany Mason-Jones with the initial good save. And it's tucked back in. This time, I believe Lucy Johnson has earned the goal. And is through the follow-through, has found herself injured possibly. Lucy Johnson immediately requesting medical attention. Bethany Mason-Jones sliding in, following the initial strike. And, well, not a sight you want to see for South Melbourne or any NPLW fan. Lucy Johnson possibly injured, and, well, Samuel Young immediately instructing his substitutes to warm up in the case that Lucy Johnson does need to be taken off here. Well, you'd hope that would not be the scenario that South Melbourne would have envisioned. However, the game you'd expect at this point would be all more wrapped up, 3-0. As Alamein convened in the middle. As all airs are still being treated behind the goal of Alamein. Fortunately, we will be recommencing play from the centre spot this time. Alamein will kick off again. Johnson appears to be fine, although I believe South will be playing with 10 men currently. And offside flag's been called. Very late offside flag, but nonetheless, the flag has been called. And Lucy Johnson going to the sideline. She might come back on. We're not entirely sure in this present moment. And here comes Amy Medvin. Back to Naomi Chinema. Long ball to the far side here. McCormick. Chinema twists inside and beats her defender. And Taka, my apologies, and Omaya. Back to Medvin. And Ayres over the top here. Holly Murray does well to deal with it and cope with it. And Caitlin Pickett. She's got a couple of goals to her name this year and has assisted many as well. And it's now Stamatopoulos appealing for the foul and ends up winning it. Here come Alamein. Call for handball on the edge of the area. Or was that in the box? We'll never know because the referee hasn't called for the penalty or the free kick, and the corners end up being won by Alamein. They won't be too satisfied with that, despite the call for a penalty. Ball whipped in for Alamein. Evades many, and Barbieri ends up getting to it. Lawson. And here comes Lawson again on that left-hand side, interchanging with Caitlin Pickett. Ronalds. And the play is opening here for Alamein. Can they get a goal to possibly startle South Melbourne? McCormick is stoic as ever. Goes back to her former Melbourne City teammate in Barbieri. And play will continue here. Heffernan goes down low and wide. Alamein utilizing all of the pitch here. And Omaya tracks back. And will Alamein get a long range shot here? Stamatopoulos cut inside and was brought down. Surely a free kick to be awarded. Referee decides against that. Long shot taken from Alamein and doesn't trouble Barbieri at all. Goes right and wide. Medwin goes back to McCormick in the middle. Melina Ayres looking for a hat trick and just evades. Goes down to the left-hand side, and Melina Ayres, she's so threatening on goal. Lucy Johnson rolls central, looking for her second, and well, she might have actually opted to go to Jenna Lawson in the middle. Good to see Lucy Johnson back on her feet. Obviously, was down for quite a long time. But a thunderous strike that was. Executed perfectly from one of the best poachers in the division, in Lucy Johnson. Renals. And, well, Alamein are definitely utilising the pitch a tad bit more, getting used to the size and dimensions this time. Obviously, they don't play all their games at Knox Regional Soccer Complex. They play some of their games, of course, close to home at H.A. Smith Reserve, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, the synthetic pitch is a very difficult thing to adjust to. One of the only sides in the division that has to play on a synthetic pitch. Of course, FV Emerging play their home games here as well. And how good have they been, FV Emerging? Currently fourth on the table, right in the finals race. Obviously, the return of the W League players hasn't done them too many fortunes, but they've looked so good despite that and have dominated teams at will. And of course, Bulleen Lions also play on a synthetic pitch. So there you go. Bulleen, they eventually will be having a full W League backline, courtesy, making up of Gabby Garton, Kayla Morrison, and Rebecca Stott. And Rebecca Stott, well, she is a former WSL talent, so she is outstanding, isn't she? What a hero. Extremely open with the cancer battle she's currently facing, and should be a wonderful addition to the NPLW and will make the race even more tight. And here comes Alamein with a shot, just goes down wide and wide. And you'd expect that the halftime whistle will be blown very soon. Medwin. Over the top, Johnson looked for it. And that will be it here at Knox Regional Soccer Complex, South Melbourne, with a commanding 3-0 advantage at halftime, despite Alamein utilising the width of the pitch in the latter stages of that first half. It is Melina Ayres with a double and Lucy Johnson with one of her own, as South Melbourne look to extend their lead at the top of the NPLW Victoria table. We will take a quick break for the halftime, and we'll be back with you shortly. Welcome back to Alamein FC versus South Melbourne. South Melbourne with the resounding start, 3-0 at the break. Melina Ayres at the double. And also Lucy Johnson grabbing a quick strike to make it 3. Was unfortunately injured on the way down. But as you can see, the number 9 is back on her feet and she's ready to score a couple more. Can Melina Ayres grab her 3rd, or will Alamein stop the downpour of goals here at Knox Regional Soccer Complex? I'm your solo commentator, Neil Simons, to take you through the second half action here. And as we await the linesmen to be ready, or both linesmen to be ready, and we expect goals upon goals upon goals for both sides. Alamein finding a lot of flexibility there, and well, the substitution's actually been made, I believe. We'll try and get you that substitution as soon as we can, but South Melbourne will commence play. And it's Kat Goff who comes on for Caitlin Pickett. I believe Caitlin Pickett said that she rolled her ankle or something along those lines as we got ready to commentate this second half, but she was very good in that first half, you have to say. But here comes Jenna Lawson. Lawson lost possession initially, and there's a cutback over there, unfortunately, and South congested in the middle, but they look to spread it wide, this time through Papatsanis. Scuffed from Amaya. She's been so good this afternoon. That was a real first misstep. And here comes Ronalds. And a one-on-one with Chinema. That battle has been stunning, hasn't it? You remember in that first half, there was a brief challenge there. Well, from, first of all, Ronalds, who shouldered Chinema, and Chinema slid in on her way down. So, plenty of animosity between these two NPL Victoria players. And, well, here comes the staunch run here from South Melbourne. Goff on that left-hand side, whips it in central. But it will find Lucy Johnson, hits the bar. Or was it the post? It might have been both. South Melbourne, the 4th incoming, not coming as of yet. Lucy Johnson struck it beautifully. If only it was inches to the left. South were looking at a magical 4 goals. They got 7 last week. Why couldn't they get 7 today? That's the question. They've looked extremely good moving forward. They pose an ominous threat as well as Melissa Barbieri kicks out. Papatsanis up with a 1-on-1 here. Heffernan. Murray. Lantieri. Bartley. Hull. Looking to create. Rolls over and hopes to go back to her defensive partner. And some composed 1v1 football here for Alamein. They've been so good in possession since the close of the first half. And South Melbourne will capitalise on that mistake there from Alamein. And here comes the chested ball down there from Alamein, effective. And here comes Amaya, who wins it, finds Lucy Johnson. She's not offside. Amaya with a 1-on-1 here. And, well, there is Bethany Mason-Jones, who gets down low and saves it. Here comes Hull. Staunch pass here down to Emma Ronalds. Will she look for the first time shot? She does, and Melissa Barbieri catches beautifully right into her breadbasket. And she kicks high and wide. As far for Melina Ayres, who looks to have won the bouncing ball. Turns around a defender. Here comes Lawson. Gets down to it low. Was the goalkeeper Bethany Mason-Jones. Well done. How that from Bethany Mason-Jones. A brilliant effort. It's always good to see some active support in the NPLW Victoria. As you can hear that chanting squadron of South Melbourne women's active support. Here comes Hull. Breaks away from the defender, takes a shot, goes low, goes down to the right-hand side, but Alamein have made some inroads this half. They look threatening, possess a lot of pace, but have looked not as threatening as they can be, and it appears we will be having a... Which one? One thing wonderful about the Knox Regional Soccer Complex is the amount of dogs that are on the sideline as well. It's a nice sight. Only in NPL, as they do say. I think I've counted so far at least, I'd say 6 or 7. The more dogs, the better. Hull turns on the right-hand side. Alamein surely offside there, and yes, the referee assistant has called for offside. Ronalds. Trickery from Ronalds. Here come Alamein. McCormick jostling between. She ends up winning it. Barbieri catches it well. That's the first time Melissa Barbieri's been distinctly challenged, and Alamein have the upper hand here. A goal to come, perhaps, for Cat Smith's side. Barbieri kicks down to the halfway line. Was initially won by South Melbourne, and, well, Alamein will come away with it, and that's a heavy touch, unfortunately. Melina Ayres goes down to Papsanis. Jenna McCormick gives away the foul. Not too happy, Jenna McCormick, with that one. A super player, Jenna McCormick. Looked so calm today and composed on the ball. Unfortunate not to earn a Matilda's recall. Amaya Johnson. And South will look to break away, but Alamein threatening as always. Lucy Johnson on the right-hand side. Drop deep as well. Turns. And will drive through the middle. Lung-busting run incoming there. Unfortunately, loses off possession. And Amaya goes down to Medwin. Medwin looked central. And Alamein end up winning it back. In the centre of defence. South still threatening. But Alamein just know how to pick the gaps a little bit and move the play forward. Rolls down. Over the top. For South Melbourne. Lawson tracks back. And Barbieri in a 1-on-1 ends up clearing well. As far for Alamein. Misplaced there, and Alamein will give away an opportunity that they surely would have capitalised on. You would have expected. Barbieri toying with the Alamein attackers now. Picked up on the halfway line this time. Storey attempts to break away. This time, Guiamara. And Jinima wins the possession. And, well, I have to say that Alamein have been extremely resilient. You suspect they get one goal back. You never know what could happen in the NPLW. It's an interesting league. I'd say one of the most intriguing games that I've called this season have to be the Heidelberg United versus Box Hill fixture. Box Hill went up 2-0, and Heidelberg replied, well, as you casually would, with 6. So, well, strange things have happened, that's for sure. And South come through Jenna Lawson. Rihanna Amaya. Chidima. Poised to earn a W League call-up this campaign. Again, well, calls for Melina Ayres during the halftime break. On social media, received a lot of praise from the likes of Joey Lynch, stating that she must be on a W League roster next season. Joey says Ayres is too good for this level. Legitimately scores when she wants areas, and I have to say, I do agree with that. If she does earn a hat trick, how good would that be? And I think Jenna McCormick has some sort of injury niggle, and she's off currently. This time Kat Smith turns the defender around and ends up going back to the center of the park. Shot taken, and there is Bethany Mason-Jones who gets down to it well. Well, Jenna McCormick is still receiving treatment, and there is that one-man advantage that Alamein do have currently. How much that will pay dividends for them remains to be seen. But Papatsanis throws. Ball rolls central. Mason-Jones dealt with Kat Smith. Kat Smith ends up getting it and then throws away possession. Chinema. As we see Jenna McCormick on the sideline about to come back on. As, well, not too strong of a central pass. Ends up finding Alamein once more. Long ball over the top. Opted this time for Jennifer Lum, and Lum ends up winning possession. Oh, there was a call for a handball there against Chinema, who handled the ball seemingly, and Jenna McCormick will be coming back on now. Jenna McCormick, of course, one of the best players, the best central defenders in women's football in Australia. Good to see her back on the park, as always. And we will see another substitution, this time for Alamein FC. Stamatopoulos coming off, and on will be coming Adeline Aiton. And here comes Alamein with the defensive efforts. And also got another tweet coming in from Melissa Lordanich. South Melbourne is up 3-0. Bulleen is leading 5-0 against Heidelberg. Currently being played simultaneously as well. And, well, of course, they'll be first and second in the NPLW Victoria by the end of the round. They play each other next week with plenty of eye emojis. Everyone's keen for that fixture next week. What a huge, huge fixture. And play will recommence. Alamein looking to play out from the back. That's Kat Smith's strategy, and she's been somewhat effective in the second half, yet hasn't really resulted in the score sheet. But South Melbourne will look to apply plenty of pressure. Papatsanis. Johnson. Close to the byline and ends up earning the throw. South Melbourne. Good defensive effort there from Alamein. Call for the foul on the edge of the area. And I believe that is a free kick, or will it be a penalty? A yellow card has been administered. And it'll be a free kick just on the edge of the area here for South Melbourne. And the yellow card has been administered to Alamein. We'll just try and make out who that player is imminently, and it will be, of course, Sophia Sakalis on the edge of the penalty area. She might try and whip it in, or she might go to Lucy Johnson for the strike on the central edge. Many edges here on the 18-yard box, of course, as always. Sophia Sakalis. Sakalis goes straight and cleared away from Alamein. Papatsanis is the first to lap up the ball. Melina Ayres turns. And Alamein might look to break away here. It's a 3-on-2 race there, and Amy Medwin did well. And Alamein will come away. Chinema. Barbieri, high ball. The ball evades a first Alamein midfielder. Alamein will kick it up again, and Ayez was seemingly kicked in the face, although a free kick has been administered. This time for South Melbourne. They take a free kick quickly, and here comes Jenna Lawson, 101. The ball evades Bethany Mason-Jones, and fortunately for her, it is a goal kick. It actually is a corner. I believe that maybe Bethany Mason-Jones end up deflecting it out for a corner, so South Melbourne do earn another corner kick. This time the first in this half. No, it's actually a goal kick, so the referee's changed their mind. Plenty of upheaval here at Kingston at the Knox Regional Soccer Complex. Ayres goes central, and Bethany Mason-Jones goes down low. Rolls it straight. Central. And Alamein will look to build up from the back. Forced with an awful lot of pressure, South Melbourne end up winning. Strategies to throw it in quickly and find Lucy Johnson on the right-hand side. Rolls it central, and a cut inside there from Alamein. Goes up top to find Emma Ronaldo. The first time touch was sublime. Rolls it down. This is some beautiful football here from Alamein. But Medvin wins the challenge. And it's end-to-end football here at Knox Regional Soccer Complex. Medvin goes down and finds it once again. A beautiful 1-2. Medvin rolls it square. And there it is. Bethany Mason-Jones. Jamila Hull goes high. And here comes Emma Ronalds. Naomi Chinema wanted none of that. And parries the ball away effectively. Adeline Ayton getting one of her first touches in this contest. It appears we have an injury here. I believe it might be Jenna Lawson. I'm not entirely sure. We'll try and make out who that is. But I believe another change will be administered this time for Alamein FC. Will it be South Melbourne? Who knows? Guess we'll find out. It is actually Sophie Papatsanis, who appears to be injured. She's back up on her feet, and it's good to see. A couple of injuries here and there for South Melbourne. And a double change here for Alamein FC. There'll be Guillemara coming off, and it will also be Jennifer Lum coming off. Oncoming number 27. Not on the team sheet currently. We'll just try and get you that name very quickly. Betty Michael coming on for Alamein. Betty Michael obviously was involved in the starting 11 for Alamein last week against Box Hill United. Didn't really receive much of the ball, and hence why she's been dropped. You'd expect it this week. Across the front line, Alamein are threatening. It comes here for Lum. Rolled central. Barbieri had to catch it. Had to be very aware of that ball whistling through the air. Hull. Story has got Omaya and Lucy Johnson to 10 with, and she ends up winning that battle, courtesy of the referee. Was struggled to make her way through that impenetrable defense of Omaya. And Alamein attacking very strongly. And here comes Betty Michael on the left-hand side, who'll look to roll it square, you would expect. Omaya hands there, and that is a interesting decision made by the referee there. Hull twists and turns and are finding Betty Michael once again on that left-hand side. Whips it in this time, not effectively. Omaya clears. And South Melbourne might look to attack. This time through Lawson. Low and hard for Kat Smith, who gets past her first defender. And her first touch was too heavy. And the corner, well, it actually is a goal kick. And there is another substitution. Lucy Johnson will be making her way off the pitch. She's had a wonderful, wonderful afternoon, getting a goal for herself. My apologies, Kat Goff. Mix up the names often, and South Melbourne make the change. And Natalie Martineau coming on. The captain last week and has been the captain for much of the campaign for South Melbourne. Currently 69 minutes into this contest. Alamein come away with it. Here is Jamila Hull, free as a bird, rolls it central, and the Alamein supporters scream in agony that they didn't score that one. What an unbelievable opportunity. Remarkable that Alamein haven't scored as of yet, and they've definitely been the team with the upper hand in this half and just haven't capitalized on the opportunities, and well. Hull. And again, another heavy touch there from Alamein FC, and unfortunately they're unable to make a distinct effort there on goal, and South Melbourne will be making another change. So, exhausting all their options perhaps. Natalie Martineau making her way down. Surely she's not coming off, is she? Oh, she's just no, it will not be Natalie Martineau coming off as of yet. Good first touch there from Melina Ayres. An actual nutmeg there. Effective there. And Jenna McCormick goes back to Melissa Barbieri. Back to Jenna McCormick. One there by Omaya, just. Omaya faced with an awful lot of pressure, but makes her way through and plays an outstanding pass to Katrina Goff down that left-hand side. Again, a similar chance to prior, as a heavy touch leads Alamein to reconsolidate and reposition themselves. ahead of another attacking opportunity. Well, Barbieri hasn't been as vocal this half. Surprising considering that Alamein they definitely have a strong hold over possession. It's just as if they can create an attacking opportunity. That's the real sort of task and has proved very crucial in the makeup of this fixture thus far. Alamein, of course, have a well-oiled system under Kat Smith, under the guidance. She's known as one of the best women's coaches in Victorian football. Has been so good for Alamein. And, well, Omaya. Oh, Ayres leaves it there for Lawson. A beautiful bit of interplay from Melina Ayres. Creativity in abundance. And here comes a change for South Melbourne once more. And it will be Jenna McCormick who makes way for South Melbourne. Putting a wonderful shift in the centre of defence. On will come is Alex Cheel. And South don't end up winning the free kick. Here come Alamein, and, well, South end up picking it up. Here comes South Melbourne. Medwin. Central. Lapped away. And it's ended up being cleared away from Alamein. Can they create something here, Alamein? They certainly deserve something thus far, and they haven't really earned it thus far. And, well, the call for handball, referee ends up waving it away. Secondary free kick there. There might be a yellow card there. I believe that was Natalie Martineau dragging down the Alamein attack. My apologies, the new substitute. It's very hard to make out the Alamein numbers here, especially in these conditions at the moment. So apologies if I've mistaked one player for another. Balls in high and wide, and there's Ronaldo with the first-time header. South end up doing well to compose themselves and end up earning the offensive free kick, and there South Melbourne will look to break away quickly, and Alamein ensure that does not occur. Barbieri spots out the pass of Lawson near the touchline. And, well, Caitlin Storey goes down. Here comes Hull. Papatsanis might get to it first. She does, but she'll not need to pass the ball as Barbieri will earn a goal kick for herself. Beautiful searching ball there. Well, it was looking for Lawson, but unfortunately she's not able to latch onto it. She's been very good today. Lawson has adapted quite well to that right wing position, having played much of the first half in that central midfield position, following the substitution of Caitlin Pickett. Chinema in a one-on-one here. Well, she's got to get to it first, isn't she? And ends up passing it away in a fashion that does not benefit South Melbourne, of course, in a tussle with Betty Michael. Ronaldo with the header just evades her ever so slightly, and Aiton looked to touch onto it, and here comes Natalie Martineau, who goes down to Goff. Passing down the left-hand side all the way. Here comes Gelf. And ends up earning the goal kick. Alamein Doon, they've been quite solid defensively. Have solidified themselves in a manner which you'd have to applaud. Chinema. You can see the animosity brewing here. And Alamein within transition. Can they cause something? Ronalds, what an outstanding opportunity they had, and actually ended up going in the back of the net, but the offside flag has been called against Emma Ronalds, the Alamein captain. Not often you see goalkeeper substitutions in the NPLW, but Melissa Barbieri will be making way. I believe it's Evie Bowen who's come on, but here comes South Melbourne. Shot taken. What a wonderful take there from Alamein. Mason Jones got up high and did well in that situation. What a through ball here for Alamein. But the keeper has to be faced with a lot here. Bonan did well. But Alamein will try again. Perhaps stronger this time. Twisting and turning. Moves into the box. Shot taken. And it's deflected off. Naomi Chinema. Natalie Martineau clears away. Oh, it appears as if the incoming ball to be whipped from Alamein has actually knocked down the Veo camera. Alamein might have a distinct opportunity here. Storey turns around, shot taken. Good save there from the substitute keeper. An effective job there from Evie Bowen. Ayres, look to get onto it. There's Mason Jones with the clear. Goff turns on the outside, shot taken, good save. Lawson with the follow-up, and she does follow up effectively. South Melbourne with the fourth, and just caps off what has been a wonderful afternoon for South Melbourne, facing Bulleen Lions next week in a 1v2 clash. And there is, well, you argue, one of the unsung heroes in Jenna Lawson, capping off her afternoon with a goal. Hull again. Face of options are plenty. Storey. Long shot taken, and Bowen didn't have to cope with much. Ball over the top to find Lawson. Jenna Lawson might roll it square. She does so. Shot taken. Will he look for the second effort? And Alamein clear away. Well done from the Alamein defence. Lawson. She's a playmaker in the South Melbourne outfit. And then hits the side netting. South just getting the upper hand in the last 10 minutes or so, despite that early Alamein onslaught. Substitutes making the difference so far. Natalie Martineau has done a wonderful job so far in the middle of the park. She's been effective within possession, of course. And Alamein might break away. Jamila Hull with a nice step over there, exquisite as always, and facing Melina Ayres, who actually has to make a defensive effort here. Not often you see from Melina Ayres. Jamila Hull and Rihanna Omaya, the tidy midfielder, laps up and consolidates, goes back to Naomi Chinema. Omaya. This is wonderful football from South Melbourne. Jenna Lawson, here again. Jenna Lawson, Rossa Central, and there is South's fifth. Natalie Martineau is Jenna Lawson, who grabs an assist, and South, 5 of the best. That's why they're top of the table. That's why they are the premier NPLW side in the competition. How effective have they been this afternoon? South Melbourne, Jenna Lawson cuts back to Natalie Martineau, and South Melbourne on their way to a resounding victory, despite Alamein putting in a decent shift in the second half. The players open up in periods for them, but play will recommence. And could South grab a 6th, or could they grab a 7th? 7th heaven possibly coming. In comes Jamila Hull, left-hand side. Could Alamein respond quickly? Jamila Hull with a shot and just goes wide and high. As we are approaching the 90th minute here. He's there. And the assistant referee to let us know how many minutes do we have, assistant? Fourth official, my apologies. Perhaps we'll never know. As an attempted first touch from Melina Ayres goes down far side. Three minutes of stoppage time coming here at Knox Regional Soccer Complex, South Melbourne. Next week they face Bulleen Lions in a top-of-the-table clash. Turns away. Will South get another? Melina Ayres messed up there from Bethany Mason-Jones. Unfortunate to have caught it and then seemingly just slipped from her fingers. As South looked for a sixth. I don't know. Goff. Ayres. Misplaces the pass, and Alamein will come away with it and will look to cap off this game, knowing that they've fought valiantly, just however the quality and technical ability of South Melbourne is too much for them. The interplay has been sublime. Alamein have fought hard. They can be very pleased with this defensive effort in the second half. O'Meara with some trickery. Looks to place the ball inward. Here comes Jamila Hall. And a certain offside flag to be called here against Alamein. A wonderful run it was, and it's just those extra 1%ers for both sides within transition. Mason-Jones, Martineau. And the referee calls for offside. And the referee subsequently blows for a whistle here at Knox Regional Soccer Complex, South Melbourne. After a 3-0 victory at halftime, well, leading 3-0 at halftime. Struck more with 2 goals, courtesy of Lawson and Martineau, as they extend the lead at the top of the NPLW Victoria table. Alamein can go away from this contest knowing that they put in a very good shift in that second half, opening play through wonderful passes through transition. The quality proved too much for Kat Smith's side, as both sides know their position currently unchanged at the end of the round. I've been your solo commentator, Neil Simons, who's taken you through this contest. Thank you very much, and have a good evening.